to honor this month than to dedicate it to love. And today, I want to talk about what love really is. You've heard me talk about it before, that love is not just a feeling the way most people think, that the kind of love that truly transforms relationships is about how we show up. It's about what we choose, even when it would be easier not to. But here's an important piece of the conversation I don't know I've ever really spoke to before. And it's that even if love isn't a feeling, we all want to feel loved, don't we? Like the feeling of being loved, being seen, being met, feeling cared about, feeling adored, cherished, important to someone else, feeling safe. All of these it's like this myriad of feelings that we do actually feel when love is happening. Sometimes, and we'll get there. And so this is kind of where I want to go this month, right? Like I want to talk about what love really is, and also how do we love in a way that creates the feelings that we're all looking for? Because we may acknowledge that love is not just a feeling. Okay, fine. But I still want to feel loved. I still want to feel those good feelings. Of course. How do we do that? How do we create that? That is why we're here today. And we're starting this conversation with what love really is, because most people, what they call love is actually just a habit. It's autopilot. It comes from fear. It comes from our attachment needs. It comes from tolerance. And that misunderstanding is why a lot of people are exhausted in their relationships, even if they still deeply care about their partners. So I want to welcome you, my friends, to another Catalyst conversation in the relationship revolution, where we disrupt the old stories about love, power, and relationships, and we activate new ways of leading our relationships consciously, courageously, differently, dare I say, better. And as I named, this month, February, we are talking about how to create a love that feels loving. And that requires something really radical, my friends. We have to stop romanticizing love. We have to stop romanticizing love and start telling the truth about it. Because only then can we open up the space for all of those good, yummy feelings we want to be feeling to start coming in. I had a thought and then I decided not to say it. Not yet, anyways. So let me talk about why this conversation matters so much. If love is just a feeling, then when it gets hard or we're not just feeling that way, we assume something is wrong. Yeah. If love is about being nice or making your partner feel good, then we end up abandoning ourselves in the name of peace. And when we do that, resentment builds and conflict erupts. And then love starts to feel like it's eroding, right? If love is about accepting your partner completely as they are, not asking them to change, not demanding sometimes that they do change their behaviors, their way of showing up, right? I'm not talking about changing who they are in their essence. I'm talking about how they show up, how they perform the dance of relationships. If love is just to accept them fully in exactly where they are, then we enable them to stay small, to stay less evolved than they could be, to stay in a version of themselves that isn't growing toward its highest potential. And if love is about staying no matter what, then we confuse loyalty with self-betrayal, and we stay in situations or stay with people or stay in dynamics that don't serve us, that don't support our own highest good. And again, if we're not in our highest good, our best selves, like what do we have left to give? Not as much. What's really important too about this idea of why I want to start by talking about what love really is because a big piece of this, and I just actually heard a bit of this from a client I was working with last week, um, is that we often think, another thing that we confuse love with is like waiting for our partner to be ready, right? Waiting for them to change, trying to be patient with where they're at. We are so compassionate, especially, we powerful, loving women who have such great capacity and can hold so much. We see our partner's greatness, we see where their struggles come from, and we have so much compassion for it. And so we try to be gentle and loving and patient while we wait for them to finally get it. And what happens there is that we stay stuck because love is not waiting for someone else to change. It may be to a degree, and we'll get into the nuance because always there is nuance to the things that I'm saying. These catalyst conversations are never. They're already too long. Sometimes I think they're never long enough to get into all of the nuances. Right? That's a devotion. That's a life practice. But um, it it if you're just waiting for them to change, you risk staying stuck, and that doesn't serve anybody. You move into like hoping and disempowered energy as opposed to leading and consciously creating. So, before we get into other conversations that matter here, like talking about intimacy or talking about romance or communication or how we express love, we need to start here with the real, like, core foundational question is, what is love actually? And I'll share my definition in a moment. Uh, but before I do that, I just want to name that learning how to love, how to apply, how to do this dance of what love really is so that we can create relationships that feel loving, so we can feel loved within our relationships. That is the work of the relationship revolution. And if you want to do that work, if you want to invite that into your own life, then I want to plant the seed to join us in our relationship revolution community. I'll share more about it at the end of this conversation, along with some information about a really amazing upcoming opportunity for deep transformation in your relationship. But for now, let me start with an introduction. If you're new to me or this work, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Dr. Jenny Wallig. I call myself a relationship revolutionary. I am an empowerment expert, an intuitive infinite possibilities guide, a speaker, a mentor, an author, a relationship educator, CEO, and co-founder of Powerful Love Relationships. And I love this work. I am on a mission to lead a global movement that revolutionizes relationships and redefines what it means to love. And our business, but I run Powerful Love with my partner Calvin. Our business is the container through which this movement is run, but it is through you that the movement is accomplished. And nothing, truly nothing impacts the quality of our lives more than our ability to lead relationships skillfully. We use relationship skills in every area, every day. They are not nice to have skills, they are need to have skills. Our relationship skills truly are our success skills. And yet no one ever teaches us how to learn them. And so these conversations, they're more than just teaching. They are an activation. They are an awareness um, portal for you to open up the door to what we've never been taught, what we have learned and need to unlearn, and what leading love and creating extraordinary relationships can really look like. If you want to help us activate and accelerate this global movement to revolutionize relationships, please make sure that you do me the great honor of liking, commenting, and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel on YouTube, sharing with other people about our work, and attending our events, of course, doing your own part to lead with love. If you're looking for support for your own relationship, there are a lot of ways that we can do that, and I would be honored to walk with you on that journey. Just send me a message and let me know you're looking for support, and we'll talk about the best way that I could do that. Whatever the case, why ever you're here, again, I'm glad that you are. Thank you for being a part of this revolution. You ready to get into the good stuff? All right, let's do it. So, I want to start with my definition of love. It's not Hallmark. It's not pretty. It's not a version, that is, comes from the Bible, or that feels all gooey and gushy. This is real talk. The truth about love as the best I have come to understand it. So I define love like this. Love is a willingness. Okay? Not a feeling. Love is the willingness to consciously respond for the highest good and spiritual growth of everyone involved, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or challenging. Take a minute and let that land. Love is not just a feeling. It is a frequency of choice. It is the sacred decision to remain awake inside the moments that it would be easier to check out. In other words, love is choosing how you show up and doing it on purpose, consciously, right? Especially when it would be easier not to, especially when everything within you says, I don't want to. And even when the way that love is asking you to show up might result in pain, discomfort, inconvenience. That's different, right? And so this is where I see a lot of people get tripped up, is because we've been taught that love should be effortless, that if real love is there, it should just be easy. And that if we're in discomfort, if we don't feel loved or don't feel loving toward another person, that means we're incompatible or something's wrong that needs to be fixed. But my friends, growth is uncomfortable. And I define love as your willingness to choose to consciously respond in a way that results in growth, in the highest good and spiritual growth for everyone involved. Yourself, the person you love, the world at large, right? That is not always going to feel good. Truth is inconvenient. Truth can be painful. Integrity, authenticity is challenging and scary sometimes. And yet, it is in these spaces that real intimacy lives. And real intimacy, real connected intimacy, is what creates safety. It is the true foundation of what we're all looking for in our relationships. And it allows for all of the experiences that come with relational joy. I love that word, right? Relational joy. This is what we're looking for, is relational joy. But we cannot have that if we are not practicing love for what love is. And the more that we do, the more that we practice love for what love is, the more relational joy we get to experience. So I want to take a minute to clarify what love is not, okay? Love is not obedience. It's not doing exactly what your partner says they want you to do, or that you should do, because that's going to make them feel good. That's not love. Love is not codependence. It's not doing everything that you can to lift your partner up and ensure that they are feeling good. It is definitely not endless understanding without boundaries. Love does not mean staying silent while your soul is screaming or your needs are going unmet, my friends. It does not ask you to erase yourself to keep the peace. In fact, real love often disrupts the peace. Okay? Love says, I will not collapse into resentment, and I will not perform connection that does not honor my truth. Love says, I will stay with myself and with the relationship in ways that grow both. Okay? It's choosing to not seek comfort at the cost of our alignment with our highest good, with our truth, with what is going to grow us. Love is not sentiment. It is substance, okay? It's not sacrifice. It is sovereignty. And that's a nuance. That's a little 2 millimeter distinction, right? Because we might sovereignly choose to sacrifice, but that is different than sacrifice in the name of love. Okay? One is a conscious response that we take full accountability for. The other is what I should do, what we think we should do, right? Because that's what it means to be loving, and it would make my partner happy, or it would make things easier, or make things feel good or more convenient, even though it's not really in alignment. Even though if I felt like I had choice, I would choose not to. Okay? You do have choice, and you can choose to, but if you choose to, you're doing so consciously, because you know that it is in the highest interest, the best interest, the highest good and spiritual growth of everyone, to make that choice, even if there are parts of you that don't want to. There may be parts of you that don't want to make a choice or do a thing or say a thing, but you are choosing it sovereignly. Okay? You're not sacrificing in the name of love. I hope that distinction makes sense. Love is, really, this is a devotion, and a lifelong devotion in action, not just like the heart or the head commitment or devotion to one another. It is the practice. Love is a practice, right? So consider this. That moment where you're feeling hurt or tired, or just like your nervous system is overstimulated and your whole body wants to just go quiet or numb out, smooth it over, pretend it's fine. Or maybe your whole body wants to scream and fight and lash out and hurt back. Those moments, those fight or flight moments, those are the doorways right there. Those are the moments when love is asking something of you. Will you collapse? Will you explode? Will you just perform connection to try to make this go away? Or will you stay awake, my friend? If you can respond consciously rather than reacting, if you can risk being honest without being harsh, if you can stay connected to your partner without abandoning yourself, then love becomes real. And not just this concept, not just this beautiful Valentine's Day poem. This isn't easy work, right? I'm not talking about being sweet and you know filling your partner with love in their love language. Like I said, if you desire more of the feel good feelings, more of that relational joy, it has to be built upon a foundation of what love really is. It has to. So many powerful, conscious women in particular, people, but women in particular, have learned that love uh, takes sacrifice, that love is hard, that love can hurt. Love hurts. Ooh, love hurts. I'm probably off key, but you know what I'm getting at, right? This is the message. And so that becomes normal. And then we tolerate relationship dynamics that are not in our best interest. We absorb the discomfort. We be a good partner, a good wife, and even an empowered leader by just putting up with shit, honestly, and um, not asking for what love would mean to us, not insisting that love be something different, something that doesn't just benefit one person but benefits all people. Listen closely, my dear friend. Love is not about how much you hold in. It is about how much you relate to what is here. Or, I'm sorry, not how much you relate, like how honestly you relate, um, how you relate to what's here. So let me say this again, because this is really important. Love is not about how much you hold in or how much you do, how much you give. Love is about how you are relating to what is showing up, how honestly you are responding to what is here for you, for him or her or them, for the sacred third thing between you guys, which is the relationship itself. You may not always agree. You may not always feel good. You may have to do or say things that are hard, uncomfortable, even painful for your partner. By the way, that doesn't mean that you're hurting them. There's a difference between hurting someone and doing something from love that results in their discomfort. And their discomfort and pain comes from you not behaving, thinking, being the way that they prefer. And that dissonance between what we expect or what we prefer, what we want from another person who is not in our control, that's you. You are the person not in your partner's control. That distance between what they want and who they want you to be and who you really are is uncomfortable. The same way the distance between who you want them to be and how you want them to behave and who they really are or how they behave is uncomfortable. Sometimes that behavior is hurtful behavior. And we often, I think we can know when that is, like when we're violating agreements, when we are acting from fear, self-protection, and not love, when we're being cruel, inconsiderate. But when we're acting from love, and we know that we're doing that, when we're acting from alignment, that distance isn't hurting someone. It is just the result of their difference between where you're at and where they wish you were is painful. When love becomes a practice, and not just a feeling. You listen, you open so many doors to all that you desire to be experiencing in your relationship. Truly, it changes everything. And I mean that. We rethink all of how we are thinking, all of how we are reacting, all of what we are doing. Like this shift, this paradigm shift puts everything else under a new light. And when you start to get it, and it's not always easy. I can't say I love like this perfectly. Fuck no. Like this is a practice, this is a devotion, right? But when you start getting good at it, then conflict, for example, becomes this gift and resource and opportunity, this portal, which I've talked about in other live streams, instead of being like a threat to you, instead of being a problem. And you're not, resentment goes away, and you don't have to wait so much. You're leading, you're co-creating. Your relationship becomes this beautiful place of growth and energy feeding and not depletion. And then love can start to feel loving. Then you get to create a relationship that you're truly proud of, that you're truly fulfilled in. I think that a lot of the times when people are struggling or unfulfilled, there is a big gap between what love is really asking of them in their relationship and how they're showing up. And the beginning of that fulfillment must start with a recognition of what love is actually asking. If you're inside the Relationship Revolution membership community membership, this is where we're going to go. Okay. We're going to look at how you're loving, what love is for you, and what we can shift, right? Because, and for those of you who are not in the community yet, this is a big part of the devotion for those who are in the Relationship Revolution tribe is there's a devotion to taking what we learn, these new awarenesses, and applying them, embodying them, making them a part of who we be and how we do relationships. So if you recognize that you're the kind of person who wants to experience the transformation, not just learn about it, who wants support and accountability, who thrives on having, prompts and activities and activations to help you go deeper and think about how to apply it and practice applying it, this is the space for you. We've got monthly live coaching, behind the scenes looks at how Cal and I apply what we're learning, additional tools and trainings, and a beautiful community of heart-led people, couples, right now, though you don't need to be in this community with your partner, but who are committed to growing their relationship day by day, week by week, in this lifelong devotion to love and to a revolutionized relationship, to loving differently, better. If you know, on the other hand, that you are in a more, let's call it, tenuous place, or you recognize that you want more than just the ongoing like growth and level up on a week to week basis, you want deep and deeply held mentorship to support you in turning a corner and learning how to lead and creating meaningful, lasting change in your relationship quickly, then I want to invite you to join my Be the One 6-week relational leadership initiation. This is a container for women who know that they want to stay in their relationships, but are also no longer to keep abandoning themselves and their needs in order to stay. So we're going to learn how you can stay and change everything without waiting for your partner to be ready first. Partners are welcome as a part of this program, but they're not required. This is a program that is not about just fixing your relationship. This is an initiation into a new identity for yourself within this partnership. And it's going to change how you lead, how you love, how you walk through the world in really beautiful ways. I have seen the results of this work. It's what we used to support people in going through over the course of 6 months, but never live. Now we're doing it in 6 weeks, live. We'll meet weekly, Q&A after every meeting, action steps, ongoing support in the community. It's going to be life-changing. And I'm really excited to deliver this work. So if you're feeling called to that, we are officially starting February 9th. So there's still time to sign up. The investment is now $2,000. The early bird window closed February 1st, February 1st. So it's $2,000. And it's going to be worth every bit of it, because it is going to save you years of time and energy and drama in your relationship to create these shifts before we even get to spring. Okay. So if you're interested in the Be the One program, just comment or DM Be the One, get a hold of me, let me know you're interested in that program with the words Be the One, and we'll talk details. No commitment right away, just reach out and I'll get you some information so you can make the decision from an aligned way, because whether you join or not, making the decision from your truth is leadership. So I want to leave you with this, my friends. You don't have to feel deeply in love to love deeply. You only have to stay awake to what love is inviting from you right now. Love is going to say, stay with it, but don't just suck it in. Stay with yourself. Stay with your truth. Stay with what wants to grow next. But choose what you do with it consciously. Love is a leadership path. It is a spiritual practice. It is a daily choice in how you respond and show up, rather than disappear behind your walls, whether your walls are cold or have lots of spikes on them. We stay outside those walls. I am so glad, again, that you are here with me. Please stay in touch, comment, share. Let me know what strikes you from this conversation, what comes up for you, what is there resistance? Let me know. And I will see you next week for another catalyst conversation in the relationship revolution. We are going to be right before Valentine's Day. So I'm thinking, let's talk about romance. Here's a good conversation. So I will see you next Friday, same time, same place, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, and every Friday live for these catalyst conversations. Until then, my friend, keep leading with love. I love you.